are transforming formulas, which just means you're solving for a different variable in the equation. Okay, so you're solving for a particular variable. All your rules of solving apply, as I said. In red, with many exclamation points, it says, if there is a fraction, get rid of it first, otherwise you're going to make it way too complicated. Okay, so that has to be step one. If there's a fraction, get rid of it. Okay, so let's start on our first one here. We're solving for m. Solving for m. We want to get the answer to say m equals. So, if I want to solve for m, the first thing I need to do is get the m term by itself. So I got to get the 4m alone by getting rid of minus 3n. How do I get rid of a minus 3n? We add 3n. Now this is where it's weird. So my 4m comes down, my n's cancel. Now, I cannot literally add these together because one of them is a number and one of them has a variable. So you can't literally take 8 plus 3n and do anything with it. So you write it as 8 plus 3n. So we're going to see a lot of that. A lot of that kind of concept. Okay, I'm solving for m. I have my m term alone now. Now I want to get rid of the 4. So what am I going to do to get rid of the 4? Amy? Divided by 4. So it cancels, divided by 4. That is my answer. So it's going to look weird, but you're using your rules of solving. So give it some time to sink in. Let me do a few problems. We'll come back to make sure we don't have questions and all that. Okay, we're solving for n. So the first thing I need to do is get this n term alone. How do I do that? How do I get the 2n by itself over there? Hannah? Subtract 6p. Now, I can't literally take 15 minus 6p and subtract it. So guess what I do? I write it as 15 minus 6p equals 2n, and then those cancel. And then I want that n by itself, so what do I do? Kara? Divide by 2. And there's my answer. So those were similar questions. One had an addition, one had a subtraction. Here I'm solving for t. Oh my gosh, what's going on? All right, thank you. I'm solving for t. What's going on with t and the group r plus 4? What's happening operation-wise? What's going on with t? Will?
You can use the distributive property.
Maybe, but you don't have to on this one. You don't have to on this one. What's going on with t in that set of parentheses? Is t being added to that set of parentheses? Subtracted, multiplied, divided? You're multiplying. So you're taking t times that quantity. So if I want to get that t by itself, guess what I can do? Divide by that quantity. Because it's in parentheses, as a group, I can divide by the whole group at one time. And there's my answer. T is alone.
Do you have to keep it in parentheses?
You do not, but I won't take off if you do. Ding, 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 ding. I got a fraction. I need to get rid of the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by the LCD, which in this case is 5 because it's the only denominator. So 5 on both terms. So on the left side, my 5's cancel each other out, and I am left with 3k minus 2. You don't multiply because the 5's canceled. On the right, 11j times 5, 55j. Okay, I'm solving for k, by the way. So to get my k term alone, what am I going to do? To get that k term alone, get my k term. Nicole, you're going to add 2. Yeah, I sound like, you used to be able to say the words broken record, but you don't even know what that means. I sound like, I don't know. I'm going to keep repeating myself. That's what a broken record does. It just repeats. Have you ever heard a broken record? Good. I have records at my house. Has anybody not seen a record? Ever seen a record? Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah, they're like those big records that yeah, little vinyls. They used to call them records. Now they're vinyls. Okay, back to math. 55j plus 2, we can't literally add 55j plus 2, so we're going to write it 55j plus 2. If you wrote it 2 plus 55j, that means the same thing. We're solving for k. What am I going to do to get that k by itself? Josh?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Oops. Cancels it. Divide by 3. And there's my answer. Okay, next example. It has a fraction. So we're going to get rid of the fraction. We're going to get rid of the fraction. We're going to take every term times the LCD, which is 4. So times 4, times 4, times 4. So on the first one, my 4 is canceled. That's why I did it. And I'm left with 3a. Minus 4 times q is 4q. Equals 4 times k is 4k. You're going to see a lot of repetition in these questions. Like this one. This is going to be the 4th time I've done this kind of thing. I want to get the 3a by itself, so what do I do first? What do I do first? Amy?
You add the 4q.
Add or plus or add, whatever word you like. Okay, go for it. Plus the 4q. So my 3a comes down, cancels the q's. And once again, I can't literally subtract or add these together, so I write it as 4k plus 4q. Solving for a. What do I do to get the a by itself? Nicole. Say that again, dear. Divide by 3. So the 3's cancel. That is my answer. Yes, sir.
When you were writing your answer, would you put a equals in your answer?
Yeah, really, probably so, but I'm going to mainly look at the thing I have circled. Yeah. Okay, I'm solving for r. What am I doing with 2 and pi and r? Amy? So if I want to get rid of any of it, I'm going to divide. And you can do it all at the same time. Divide by 2 pi. Divide by 2 pi. They cancel, and r equals c over 2 pi. I got a fraction in this next one. So my common denominator is 9. I'm going to get rid of the fractions by multiplying all my terms by the denominator. So my 9's cancel, and I have 5x plus 9y equals 9z. And here we go again. I want to get that x term by itself. So what do I do first? What do I do first, Amy?
Subtract 9y.
Subtract 9y. 5x comes down, my y's cancel, and on the right I get 9z minus 9y. I want that x by itself. So I, 5, Will?
5.
Divide by 5. There's my answer. Pretty repetitive. And I believe this is my last one right now. I'm solving for A. If I'm solving for A, my first step is to do what? Ready?
Minus x.
Minus the x. The A and the B are attached right now. You can't get rid of that yet. So minus the x first. Now, I can't literally take y minus x. So guess what I'm going to write it as? Y minus x equals negative AB. Now here's where I might see some mistakes. Let's see if we can get this right. If I want to get that A by itself, what am I going to do? Nicole? Perfect. Divide by, because this is multiplication. This is not subtraction. Don't plus B. If it's multiplying, to undo it, you divide. So divide by negative B, cancels out the B and the negative, and that's my answer. And that concludes Goal 2-6 notes. And all of Super Goal 2. You have 8 questions that I want you to finish because we're going to go over them today. And then I'm going to talk about what you're going to use the remainder of your time for. Because some of you are not doing this, and I'm going to come after you or send my people after you. You don't want to know my people. I have no Wi-Fi. Do you guys have Wi-Fi? My iPad has 0 right now. I can't hold up the backpack. Let me go back to the notes and I'll just write it down. Page 371, 8 through 15, all of them. A total whopping 8 questions. I'll turn the lights on. As you finish your 8 questions, if you want to use the restroom and get a drink, you can go do that.